Hey everybody, good morning. It is Sunday and my name is Melissa and I got my coffee and I'm very excited to hang out with you this morning. This is going to be called Sunday Chats with Melissa and I'm super excited to be here with my friend Candace who won't get on camera.
Not yet. Maybe one day.
And I watch a lot of YouTube channels. I have two teenagers and they do everything on YouTube, and so I thought there's so much to learn on YouTube. I thought just changing light bulbs and figuring out how to fix things, but then I realized there was a lot of real life stuff there. But what I found was there wasn't a lot of YouTube channels that were geared towards maturing women and kind of living your best life. And so I want to do that with you because I think over the past few years, probably the last 8 years of my life did almost a 360. And I feel like I have a lot of things to share from life happenings, from grief, from loss. And I also have great fashion tips and makeup and just great books that I'm reading. And so I just want to talk to you guys about how to live your best life wherever you are, however you're doing it, and wherever you find yourself. They always say it's not your circumstances that define you, it's how you define your circumstances. So I don't want to get any preachy. We're not going to do politics. There'll be no politics here. We're not going to talk about the assembly of the church. So that's not going to happen. But anyway, so it's going to be a real short 30-minute chit chat. If there's something that you want to talk about or hear about, just comment below. And I hope you subscribe and share this with your friends. So the first thing I wanted to talk about was what I'm really liking. And so it's a new year and a new you. And my friend Candace and I have been shopping a lot. A lot of places. So I'm currently on like a makeup train. I guess you might call it. I'm on a makeup train of all things makeup. New eye palettes, new lipsticks, new skincare. Because what I found was as I matured, and maybe because of the season, everything got a little dry. Or a lot dry. And I think when we're accustomed to doing something one way and we're used to using the same products in the same way, we continue using that until one day we just kind of look in the mirror and go, oh, it's not looking as good as it should. And then you have to kind of revamp everything. Your skincare, your moisturizer, just everything. For your hair, everything needs to be revamped. So I am in the revamping stage, and I just made my platinum.
Oh, you just made platinum?
I just made platinum, and I just started January, I don't know.
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. I made platinum already. I usually make it sometime by October. I went on and did that this month.
Just get that on out of the way.
Just getting that round out of the way. And Candace is always somebody that will be like, you want to go to Ulta? Mm-hmm. Yep, sure do. So we made a little trip there before we came here to shoot this video. So, okay, so some of the things I'm really loving. So we just came from Ulta, like I said, and there's this new line. I guess, is the whole line new?
Yes.
Okay.
That particular, yeah.
So I'm an it girl from way back. Now, I did recently have to change my foundation and my skincare from it because it wasn't as moisturizing for me as it needed to be. More on that later. But they have a new whole line of products, and it's called Pillow Talk. Pillow Talk?
Pillow lips.
But there's also the other pillow stuff, right?
That was
Pillow lips. Oh, was it?
The pillow lip. The bed pillow or something
Yeah.
along those lines, yeah.
Never mind. Never mind any of that.
There's lots of pillow talk.
There's a lot of pillow talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of pillow talk. So pillows are really popular in makeup now.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're somewhere and they're talking about pillows and talking, you're hip, you're in the new stuff. You know what's happening. So just try it out. So because they were out of the pillow talk, which was something to moisturize our lips, and it promised bouncy, luscious, beautiful lips.
Kissable too.
Kissable. Who doesn't want that? No one. so the nice lady at Ulta came over and said, oh, but I think I found something else you'll like. This is by It, and it's just a clear gloss, and it's moisturizing. And she puts a little wand in, and she gives it to Candace, and Candace's lips are dry, so she's like this. To which I promptly said, your lips are turning pink. It's not clear. She was about 3 swipes short of getting into a clown car with a lot of other clowns. Luckily, she reined it in and kept it right here. Now, I said, oh, that's not what we were looking for. That's the Au Jus lip by It. To which Clown Lips said, Au Jus is a place to dip your beef sandwich. I said, oh, it's called, what?
Je ne sais quoi.
Je ne sais quoi. Not Au Jus. But I have many of the je ne sais quoi products, and I have the lip gloss, and I also have the lipstick, which it does kind of like, it's kind of like a mood lipstick. You put it on and it kind of changes, and it's really a pinky, kind of varying shades of pink. So anyway, that's what was happening. So after we tried that clown lipstick, she took us over and showed us that there is a new Pillow Talk. Now, I love all things makeup, in case I hadn't shared that with you, but look at this. And I love a package. I love a cool name, and I love anything that looks pretty. Okay, so this one is called Gaze, and it's the Pillow Talk. But look how pretty that tube is. So I'm crazy about that. Candace and I have the very same taste. We both got this one. That is what we got from Ulta today. And what else did we get?
We got the cleanser.
Yes. So we got the Too Faced cleanser. I'm going to take that right out of the box and show it to you. This is called Hangover Wash the Day Away by Too Faced. And it's very moisturizing. And you've tried this before, right?
No, I think it's new actually.
Okay.
But I've tried the Hangover Primer, and I love that.
Okay.
That is very moisturizing.
And it's for moisturizing.
Mm-hmm.
This is a gentle foaming cleanser with, it says we love your skin. So my glasses, can I just say I got new glasses? They're very fancy and cute. They don't work. They don't work. They're supposed to be like HD something or another. They're not. And they might be. I hope nobody is seeing me in HD. I don't want to be seen at all in HD. I hope this isn't HD. But I can't read any of these words on this tube. But I believe it says, we love your face even when you're dirty. No, even when you don't. We love your face. So this is what I picked up today. And it's probably backwards to you. And I think there's a way to flip this around so things aren't backwards. I'm not sure how. I will figure that out. But that is what we got today, a new cleanser, because again, changing the whole skincare. And then, what do we got? Oh, I got setting spray. I'll tell you all about setting sprays later. So here's what we're gonna do. So I'm gonna do 10 minutes, 10 minutes, 10 minutes. And I'm gonna do 10 minutes about what I'm crazy about, 10 minutes about what I'm reading or liking or really interested in, and then maybe 10 minutes about makeup. So this will be my first 10 minutes of makeup, even though we're doing it a little backwards. So we're gonna do that. Also, I had used the It CC cream. I had used a CC cream for years, and I used the same one because I felt like it was a moisturizer, and it also provided some SPF, and I felt like it gave me really good coverage, but it was also very drying. So do you think things with SPF are a little more drying than things without?
Yeah,
Okay.
I do.
Okay, so that's what I think was part of the problem too. So Candace, who is the queen of all things makeup, if you have any makeup questions, you should call her. I'll put her number up there. And she She responds really quick. Doesn't matter what hour of the night, she's gonna respond. So she was like, oh, I really like the Maybelline, right? The Fit Me foundation, which I left at home.
But she does have it.
But I do have it, and I use it with a sponge, and I had not done that before. I really should have all this stuff on the table. To be the worst first YouTube video ever. So, also, funny thing about this little fancy thing, it was only this big when I bought it. And you moisturize it, unbeknownst to me, it goes 15 times its regular size. So here it is. But I put a little bit of foundation on the back of my hand, and I just dab this in it, and instead of like rubbing, I just press into it instead of rubbing. And so it gives you nice even coverage. There's like a little ledge here. You can get into your little tight spots if you have any. You can get up under your eyes, all in your lines here, and then your 11. Is that the 11? Is that what it's called right there?
Yeah.
You can get right in there. This is really great. Just use it. I just wet it a little bit and wring it out. And then it just stays damp, and when you wash it, it gets way bigger than this. So, and I also do the same thing with the powder. So this is the Fit Me Maybelline. You can get this from Walmart or CVS or Walgreens. Ulta also has it. And I just open that up and put a little bit in the lid and do the same thing. And I'll do a tutorial one day and show you how I like put on my face, but not today. That's not what we're doing today. I've been out a lot today. I couldn't go out without a face in the world. Can't do that.
I thought about that. I was like, we can't do that.
Okay, so things that I'm really into. Okay, for those of you who know me, and I know a lot of you do not, I don't like shoes that tie. I prefer not to have a tennis shoe. I feel like if you're in a tennis shoe, there's some exercise or some kind of vigorous activity that needs to be done in them, and I try to keep away from that at all cost. So I own probably 158 pairs of shoes, and this many of them are tennis shoes because I don't wear them. I don't think they're fashionable. I don't want to tie them. I don't want to bend over. Bending over is like time that you'll never get back. It's wasted life, actually. The tying, the bending, it's the whole nine. You just don't slide and keep it moving. That's how I roll. But some of you may know about this, as I'm going off camera yet again. Some of you may be familiar with this. And my Jessica is the tennis shoe queen. She happens to love Nike. That's like her favorite brand. And she has a ton of shoes. And she wanted me to get a new pair of shoes. And she said, you're going to love these. Okay. Very pretty. Very, very pretty. Okay. Here they are. All right. So these are called Vapor Max for these little bubbles on the bottom. I don't know what they do. They squeak a lot when you first wear them if you're walking on cement. But it doesn't matter because the street cred that you get from wearing these, you can't even imagine. What I'm crazy about is this material here. I don't know if you can see it, but it's called Flyknit. Flyknit, that's what this is. It is like a sweater sock for your feet. As soon as you put your feet in these, you feel like you're walking on a cloud. Not bubbles, a cloud. And this just shapes right to your foot, and it is the most comfortable shoe you will ever wear in all your life. Now, they're not cheap at all. I'm usually not afraid to spend a few dollars. These were a few more dollars than I was liking to spend. I'll let you Google them and see what the price is for you. But I'm here to tell you it was the best lot of money I spent in a long time on a pair of shoes as far as comfort. So much so that I may or may not have gotten 3 more pair. May or may not. Have you tried these? Okay, you need to slide your foot in there. The Vapor Max is a nice shoe, but the Flyknit is what I like. Now, when people at work, when I wore them on Dress Down Friday, said to me, I love your Vapor Max. I was like, oh, my sweater shoes, I love them too. And Jessica probably told me, please don't do that. You have lost all your street cred by calling them sweater shoes. They're Vapor Max and people know what they are, so knock that off.
I'll wait till you're done so I don't make
Okay.
a squeaky
Well, I was going to
noise.
ask you how you feel.
Oh,
How you
okay.
feel?
Well, my
Yeah.
chair might squeak, but that's okay.
So cute. I also bought another pair of black ones. They're the Flyknit, but they're a different bottom. But if you haven't tried on a pair of Nike Flyknits, do yourself a favor and go try those on. That's what I'm crazy about. That's the first thing I'm crazy about. The second thing I'm crazy about is notebooks. I love a notebook. I love office supplies. I love stationery. I love pens. I have more pens than I have shoes. I have pens in all colors, sizes, shapes, widths, textures, glitter, non-glitter, markers, not markers. I love notebooks and I have a lot of them, and I write down everything. I write down my to-do list because I'm maturing and I forget. And it's also nice to be able to go back and look at what you think you've accomplished when you think you've done nothing. Now, I will make a very generic to-do list in the morning. Say, do the laundry, wash the dishes, I don't know. What else can we do?
Take the trash out.
Take the trash out. Okay. So those seem like just 3 things to do on your to-do list. You give yourself credit for everything, because in order for you to do the laundry, first of all, it has to be gathered. It has to be sorted. It has to be, some of it has to go in bags. Like I like my socks in a bag. Jessica doesn't understand why the socks need to be in the bag, because socks that don't end up in the bag become the unaccompanied lids to the Tupperware in your cabinet that you can't find. It's the socks and the lids that are out running the streets. That's what's happening when your socks don't go in a bag. So there's a lot to be done. There's sorting. And I'll tell you about my washing machine another day. Story for another day. But when you're doing cold laundry at my house, you have to give it 12 hours. That's how long it takes for me to do cold laundry at my house. So then you have to move it to the dryer, and then some needs to be hung up, and some needs to be with clips, and some not. It's a whole thing. So I put down everything that I do. When I'm feeling like I didn't get enough done, I write down everything that I do.
It is a great sense of accomplishment.
And then you mark that off. You get you a big fat Sharpie of your favorite color, and you mark that right off. Like you've accomplished everything for the day. So I have one for home, I have one for work. I knit, so I keep track of my projects, because sometimes I'll be working on it. I've been working on a shawl since 2005. True. And I look at it every so often, I'm going, I hope I wear you before I die. I just don't have time. I just don't have time to knit. I like to knit things that are going to get finished. And that's going to be a while before it gets finished. It's gorgeous. I'll show it to you one day. So I have a notebook for my knitting. I have a notebook for work. I have a notebook for home. And then I have a notebook for dreams and doodles and things that I want to accomplish, how I kind of think them out. Like when Candace and I started talking about this YouTube channel, I just kind of brainstormed and just wrote some things down, just some things I wanted to accomplish, because I think that Candace and I feel the same way, and we're not the only people who are going through the things that we're going through and living the life that we're living, because we're just 2 people who met, I want to say, at the baseball field. She always reminds me it wasn't. It was when I was teaching a beading class at the library in Gloucester County that we met. But we spent the majority of our time on the baseball field while our boys played ball together, who are 23 and 24 now, or isn't he older than that?
He'll be 25
He's 25,
next week.
okay. I knew they were a year apart in school, but my son was a little bit younger. He was a younger student. His birthday's in July. But we've spent probably the last, how long has it been since we've known each other? Gosh, the boys were in middle school, so 10, 12 years. Yeah. And we don't talk all the time, but when we do, we just pick up where we left off. We just have a lot of things in common, and our lives have been parallel in a lot of things, and us losing our family members and going through that grief, and our boys growing up and getting girlfriends and going to college and going through the apprenticeship and just doing all those things. So our lives are parallel in a lot of ways, but we've been talking about this YouTube channel for years. And I told her, we're going to start it, we're going to do it. If we don't do it, we're never going to. And life's not getting any shorter. And she doesn't want to be on camera yet. She will. But everybody's got to be where they are when they're ready. but she is a wealth of knowledge. She's a great friend and a beautiful person, and you are going to so enjoy having her on here. And she's not as funny as me. I mean, I gotta get my own credit here.
Oh, that is 100% the truth. Melissa is hilarious.
But she'll have a lot to offer. But we're also going to have other guests on. I have a lot of friends who do a lot of things. We're going to talk about essential oils, and we're going to talk about books and hair care and skin care and massage. I mean, there's just a million things that we can do to take care of ourselves. And if you're not taking care of yourself, figure out how you best feel taken care of and do that, even if it's just one thing, you know. So that's what I'm loving is my notebooks. And then the other thing that I'm really loving a lot is reading. And this guy, The Humble Poet, I don't know if you've read any of his books. He also has an Instagram. You can follow him there. I'll be fancy and figure out how to put all that stuff in the notes of this. But these are just real easy to read. And a lot of times it'll just be a couple of words on a page, you know. So here's one. This is on page 170. This book is called Things No One Else Can Teach Us. And this one says, we think the solution is to find a solution. But in fact, the solution is to step back, zoom out, and question whether all the pressure we're bringing down upon ourselves is warranted. So I'm very much into making life simpler, making life better. And for simple, for me, doesn't necessarily mean less things. It means less clutter. It means less bad energy. It means making sure that I'm feeding myself how I need to feed myself to make my life better. My children are grown. They don't need me to make their lives better. I've already done that. They might beg to differ. But they're all being grown-ups in the world and contributing to society, so I felt like I did what I was supposed to do. But another book that I have that I'm liking is called Make Time to Be Present, Meditations to Be Here and Now. I'll talk about this later on another show, or another show? Chat video. But I'm a certified yoga teacher. And meditation was part of what we did in our yoga training. And for those of you who don't know what yoga training consists of, stay tuned, because I'm going to tell you, because you will be shocked. Those precious people who put on those little tiny bit of clothes and stand in front of you and teach you how to do a downward dog and tell you what the benefits of that are, let me tell you what they had to know before they could get up there and do that. You'll be surprised. But I'm 100% better off for having done it, and I wouldn't trade it for the world. Again, that's a story for another day. This is by Erica Kearns, and the one that I just turned to, it's different little pages. Like this one is where it has like I think they call it like a topic, and then you can write in here. And this one says, I know that the purpose of life is to understand and to be in the present moment with the people you love. It's just that simple. And the people you love don't have to be the people that you grew, or that your parents grew, or that your grandparents grew. It could be your friends, it could be your partner, it could be your husband or your wife or your best friend. Just whoever it is that you choose to be around, make sure that they're making you happy as best as you need to be. And you reciprocate that as well. What else am I loving today? What are you loving? Anything?
Pretty much kind of the same thing. Like right now, reading is where I'm going, with it being so wintertime and so nasty outside.
Yeah.
I'm really getting back into books and reading. Sometimes in the summer I feel like I get out of that, but I've been really enjoying that. And one book, I don't know if you've read the Where the Crawdads Sing.
I think I have it on my Audible. Do you like Audible?
Yes,
Okay.
I do, but I'm not in the car as much anymore,
Right.
so I don't have as much time to listen.
Right.
But I do really, I like that. But Where the Crawdads Sing is such a good book. That is probably one of the best books I've read in a long time.
Okay.
So I highly recommend that. And it's just the same kind of thing. Just really revamping my winter skincare, because I am definitely drier in the winter, so I have to do a few different things, exfoliate more. and that kind of thing. So
Yeah, we'll have to talk about exfoliating. That's a whole thing.
yeah,
That's a whole thing. And we live in Virginia, so it is spring, winter, and fall all in the same week.
yeah,
It was 70 degrees this week. It was 60 degrees. It was 12
yeah.
at night. One day I went out to go to work and my car was frozen. I had on no coat yesterday. I don't know how that happened.
Yeah, it was crazy.
But we are both makeup junkies, and these are some of the palettes that we have and use. And we're going to talk more about those later. And Candace is going to do some tutorials for y'all. She is. She's going to love doing that. She's cringing. She's almost ready to fall out of her chair because she doesn't want to be on camera. But we're going to figure it out. We're going to figure out getting her on here. But this is one of our palettes that we've been using, the James Charles Morphe one. And then also I had to search high and low for my Jaclyn Hill, which is also a Morphe one. They're beautiful colors. You can see them on the back. You can pull them up on Ulta or Sephora and look at those. But we're going to teach you how to do pretty eyes with those, along with some skincare tricks and tips in our tutorial videos. So we only have about 4 more minutes in this one. So I think another thing that I will tell you that I really like is this head to toe balm from Trader Joe's. I think it's like $3.99, and it is the best thing for the winter. This I keep in my car, so it's gone sideways because of the summer, but you can use it to moisturize anything, your elbows, your knuckles, whatever is dry on you. You can also put it on your lips. It is great. And do you use any essential oils?
I use some.
You can also put some of your essential oils in with this and put them on you. You know, if you want to put some lavender on there, just for something that's a little bit smell, but it's not greasy and it just absorbs right on into your skin. So you just pick the right at Trader Joe's. I think it's like $3.99 or something. It'll last you, you know, forever. So, all right. Well, I hope you enjoyed this first 30-minute segment videotape. And I was just going to read you this one little thing that I found on, I think it was on Instagram, that I put as my story on my Facebook. And it is by Michelle Tong, or Michael Tong, I can't tell. But it says, it's the small habits. It's how you spend your mornings, how you talk to yourself, what you read, what you watch, who you share your energy with, who has access to you that will change your life. And I think we all can look back on past relationships and jobs and the people that have come through and marched through our lives in various ways and for reasons that I think everybody moves through your life for a reason, and everybody brings something to your life, whether it's growth or whether it's a couple step back so that you can look and see why you're where you are and why they were brought to you. So I'll leave you with that today, and I hope you have a great rest of your Sunday, and I hope you subscribe down below, and we'll see you again next week.